are coming to you live from Love, Peace, Harmony Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. And today we are going to talk about a challenge for everybody, is how to get sales for your business. And we have Mai and Nani, and today you're going to talk about B.A.N.K. And what does B.A.N.K mean? I keep seeing this all over, and people are talking about it in personality sales training. And do you want to talk a little bit about what is B.A.N.K?
Thank you for having me here. B.A.N.K is a personality sales training system. It's like, have you ever taken a personality assessment?
Yes. Okay.
Well, some of the ones that are out there are you might be familiar with is maybe the color code. Have you ever heard of that? Or sharks, animals. There's other assessments called like the Myers-Briggs in corporate America. Now, I've taken just based on my own experience, I've taken these assessments before. And with these assessments, it kind of tells you about who you are. B.A.N.K is a different spin on that.
Right.
And so what's unique about it, this is nothing new. A girlfriend of mine, a really good friend of mine, her name is Sherry Tree, and she was a top sales trainer. And the struggle is that she was so skillful, but there's a lot of people who struggle in that area in business, especially people who have the nurturing personality type. They have a hard time making sales. And she's not much of a nurturer, she's more of an action can do it. So she created a system based on all of these different assessments to help people, to empower them basically, to give them the strength and the confidence and to what she was strong in and what I was weak in based on this B.A.N.K sales training system has empowered me to do exactly what she does. It comes natural for her, but gives me more confidence. So yeah, that answers.
What do you think that is the biggest mistake that people make out there in sales? They know their company and they have the same spiel, you could say, or the same presentation, and they do that to everybody. Is that the biggest mistake, and not understanding what the client's needs or taking time to understand them?
Yeah, the mistake comes from because when we try to promote our product, service, or our business, or opportunity, we usually base it on our perspective, our dominant code.
What excites us about
what excites us. So I'm sure I've attended a lot of presentations, and usually when you're sitting in the audience, oftentimes is that you're either going to connect or you don't connect. And the reason why if you don't connect to the speaker, it's usually because they're not speaking your language.
And you see them texting during the presentations and on their phone and doing other things because
yes,
they lost interest.
They lost interest. And I just want to share quickly.
Thank you for holding up all our presentations.
Yes, thank you, Mai. I'm sure some of you out there, I know you've heard of Tony Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time. But he said, let your prospect determine your presentation. And that's a pretty profound statement. Because like I said, we're always presenting based on who we are. And I kind of want to expand on that, is that back in 400 in BC, and just kind of get a little deeper on that, there was Hippocrates. He was the father of medicine. And what he determined, that there was 4 different temperaments. And these 4 since he identified that, he was able to diagnose. And that's where Sherry has learned all of this, and she found a way to crack their code and speak to all the 4 different temperaments. For most systems or programs or assessments out there, they don't teach you that. And so those are some of the things, information that I've learned with B.A.N.K.
So if you were meeting me and you were talking to me and trying to get me to purchase your product or service, do you want to do a sample of what you would do with me to understand my personality?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Let me backpedal a little bit. Let me talk about the acronym B.A.N.K and what it stands for. What is B.A.N.K?
Right?
Sorry, okay. So let's look at right here. I'm going to hold up B. So the first code of the B.A.N.K code is B, and B is blueprint. So I want you to visualize each, for B, they have a different set of values. I know you can't see it from here, but blueprints value stability, structure, predictability. They're more in the box type of thinkers. They love rules and credentials, just some of that. One of the things, so we're talking about sales, And you know, I'm sure you've heard the, you know, Hawaiian time, right?
Yes.
So Hawaiian time is not cool with blueprints because blueprints value their time. So for example, Lori, I know when you set up an appointment and you tell me 12 o'clock, and just FYI, my blueprint is last on my code, and what do? What do you tell me all the time?
I'm there 15 minutes early.
And what do you also tell me?
Sometimes I tell you 15 minutes earlier because I know you're going to be possibly late.
Absolutely.
So then you'll be on time.
Yes, because on my bank code, the blueprint, and this is so important to you because you're somewhat of a blueprint.
Yes.
And you value your time. And so what B.A.N.K has done for me on a personal level is it empowered me. I know that this is my last, but I know this is important to Lori. So just because of this system, I know that
And since your training, since this B.A.N.K training, you've always been on time now, which
yes.
I appreciate. So I'm glad you went to that training. Thank you.
Yes, because that was I was always known not being accountable or not, you know, and when you're not on time for a blueprint, they really feel they're disrespected. They really feel that you don't value them. And so I've gotten better because of this training system.
Right. And you weren't doing it out of a lack of integrity or to hurt. It just, you didn't understand that. It was
I didn't understand. But now that I know, I didn't know that I didn't know. I mean, now that I know,
you're doing better.
I've improved, and you're happier. Now you're like smiling.
So I don't
Nani's aware.
15 minutes early.
So it's literally transformed. This is not just a sales training tool, but for me, it has been a complete transformational tool that I was able to adapt really, really quickly. So I'm so grateful for this system.
And I'm sure that everybody listening to these different values that you can think of people in your head. Oh yeah, that person, that person, that person. You know people with combinations of these personalities.
Yeah, it is completely transformed. You know, once I learned this system so quickly, I came home and started coding my family, and I'll show you how that works. And it's so funny, all my families are blueprints.
Okay, so now that we know you're not a blueprint,
yes.
Let's go on to A.
Okay, let's go quickly on to A. So A is different energy, right? So these guys are movers and shakers, millionaire makers. Usually they're the top producers in any business because they take action. So I want you to think of the color red. You know, they're all about action, appearance. Sometimes they can be aggressive. Sometimes it's all about them. Very different for a blueprint. A blueprint's a little more conservative. The tone is different. Where A is very emotional, highly driven, and so they love freedom, flexibility, spontaneity. They just don't want to be locked down. And they don't think about it, where a blueprint would think about things. They'll process the information before they take action. Where this one, it's almost like oil and water. So this is an amazing B.A.N.K code. The next one I'm going to say nurturing, associated with the color yellow. And this is most of Hawaii. And nurturers value relationships, authenticity. They love teamwork. It's all about a community. And for this guy, sometimes money motivates them. Where nurturer, money's not the motivation. So if you're going to communicate with a nurturer, it's all about connecting. It's connecting the mind, the body, the spirit, the na'au. And when they can feel that you're connecting with them eye to eye, spiritually, emotionally, these guys, you can sell them anything because there's a sense of trust. You know, but if you came up with the nurturing, trying to sell your, like say maybe the clothing line or different things in the health and wellness, and you came to them just, you can make money, sell this clothing, sell this wellness products. It's all about the money, the opportunity. 9 out of 10 times, pretty much, you're not going to have the sale.
Because that's not important to them.
It's not important to them. I just want to make it
or not their highest priority.
Exactly, not their highest, not the most important thing.
Because isn't it true that everybody's a combination? It's not like this is all you are, is one color. It's a combination of the four, and in what order is your highest priority lowest?
We all of the B.A.N.K codes. And it's so interesting if people ask me, can it change? Absolutely, depending on your life, circumstances, or the decision you make, where you're at in your life, your code can change.
Because you could go from being single and being a little bit more red, and then you have a family. So obviously, with kids in mind and a spouse, then your code would change, and your priorities would change.
And you saw the shift in me.
Yes.
The Nani before to the Nani today is not this How long have we known each other?
About 10 years.
And let me ask you, what, since learning the bank, well, actually, let me finish with Kay,
yes.
and then you can maybe share with them what you've noticed. Okay, so the last code is K. So associated with the color green, and this is what we associate with knowledge. I want you to think about Microsoft Excel. It's spreadsheets. What they value is universal truth, information. And the funny thing, one thing about K is they think they know it all. And they're not.
But they do usually.
But they do.
Yes.
In fact, I remember John. John is a good friend of hers, and he's a K, and he's usually they're in a career of like IT, very intelligent,
Computers.
high IQ. So, for example, in sales, if you were going to sell to a K, these are the people who are going to keep asking you questions. Well, what's in the product? What's it, what does it work? How does it work? Where are you getting your information from? Who's the experts? You know, those are the things that they value K.
And they don't want you to tell you. They just want you to tell them where the source is so they can go research it themselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Never come across like you know more than them, because in their mind they know more than you.
Right. See, look at how much you've learned from going through these things.
I have. And it's so interesting because my other family codes are Ks. So I live with blueprints and Ks, and I didn't know that. And I didn't know. So just FYI, based on what you know on the bank code, my bank code is nurturing first, action, K, knowledge, and then blueprint last. So now I always wondered why I was so different from my family members. I always wondered, like, why do I think different? Why am I different? Why I don't think like my mom? Why do I feel like I'm married to my mom? You know, because I have my husband, and I'm like...
Have you told your husband that?
Huh?
That you have these thoughts?
Yes, I tell my family, because I used to ask them. I had no idea. And once I learned to crack the code, and then crack my family's code, it's just like the light bulb went off.
So if someone says, okay, I get this, I need help with my business, I need to increase sales, and they go to one of the trainings, what are they going to experience? What are they going to lose? What's hands-on? It's going to be different than other workshops they've gone to.
I think what you're going to experience is we're going to walk you step by step and share you the system, but also provide you enough information not only for yourself but how you can apply it. Because a lot of times when people go to these assessments, it's usually just based on them. Where we teach you both, where we teach you who you are, but now how to communicate more effectively based on who the person that your prospect, your family member. So I think that, and then we'll teach you how to put that in action.
Well, good. And how would, that sounds wonderful, and increase your sales 300%. How does someone get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me at my phone number right now. Currently my website's under development, but the best way to reach me is text, or if you can't get me on the phone, is 386-9547. Okay. So 386-9547.
And you're also in the Hawaii Wellness Directory.
Yes.
And on the website. All
yes.
your events are listed on the events link.
Yes,
so.
I have all the information, the best way to reach me. And I'm also going to take B.A.N.K to a different level and get it a little bit more into coaching.
Oh, great. So someone could meet with you and say, here's the challenges with my business, and on a one-on-one, even before or after they have their workshops.
But yes, they can meet with me. And then, so I'm going to do a half-an-hour consultation, a complimentary one. So if you call me to sit with me. But what's going to be great, I'm not only going to teach you how to increase your sales, but your influence, your connection, and your relationships. Because I really believe, based on my experience and what I've gone through, it's too long to talk about, but it has to work hand in hand. You need to have your relations in sync with your business. And when you can do that, and that's what B.A.N.K did for me.
And it also helps with not only business, but family relationships.
Absolutely, that's what I mean.
Finding your soulmate, everything communication.
It's like for me, it's been like a one-stop shop. It's just been so empowering and transformational.
Wonderful. Well, I've seen a big difference. I'm excited to hear more in 2014.
Yes,
Great.
I'm excited.
Thanks for coming.